Hey, how's it going? This thing's coming along real nicely now. I've probably spent a bit of time working on it off and on today. What I've done, okay, on this side, I've curved off the back of this thing, of the rotating part. I still have to unlock it, and it doesn't really unlock or anything. But because now I'm limited to, 180 degrees of rotation, let's say I've fully rotated it, and then you want to get off or on. Well, now the ladder completely clears and stays in line with the walkway. I guess it's a walkway now. I've also shortened my outriggers. So now they're basically not interacting with the walkway at all. I don't actually think I need them. With the negative weight, I've put it under this block, so now this thing is like negative 500. Pretty happy floating up there on its own, especially now that there's all this weight in the rest of the trailer. We've got a winch under here, which I need to just work out some timing or max length or something. So if I go up, to get the hose working at the very top, as the walkway goes out, that hose and that winch extends. I had it on a small winch, but it wasn't extending far enough. I don't know why, because that's got to be more than 10 meters. But I put it onto this one, which is now 40 meters, so it's obviously falling into the ground a bit. I think I've got rid of all the like janky clipping stuff, so now you can just run up here. That stair is probably the only thing you've got to jump over. Can run all the way up to the top. The gate works, the hose works. There's no water tank or pump down there though. I don't know if I should put a reset button up here. But when you turn the key off, it will reset, so it would go... I think usually what you'd want... Oh yeah, okay. So let's say we're here operating on something and you want to reset. First it's going to retract, then it's going to start turning, and then it'll start going down, but it might... Oh, it's not come back down. Ugh. So anyway, it would retract, and then it would come down. Wow. I might put a distance sensor on this thing so it doesn't slide. See how it slides back? Oh well, probably still some things I need to fix there. We've now got these equipment loggers. So we've got radio signal locators, glow sticks. Basically there's everything in here that you might have to use for some kind of fire emergency. It's all just kind of random stuff that I've guessed a fire truck would have on it. 4 firefighting outfits, extra oxygen. This is the main pump, so you can connect onto that and then turn your hose on. On the other side, we've got the same thing. This anchor here is also connected to those pumps. It just splits off and goes directly below that. And then those will be connected to the internal water tank. And then this thing here is what you could take off to the ocean or any ponds or lakes or anything you find around the map. And then you can fill the water tanks back up. And then in here, we've got radiation or hazmat suits, radiation detectors, heaps of first aid, defibrillators, and then welding. And what I want to put in this side is one of the like custom welders that you would be able to just take and infinitely weld on something. And then down the back here, these don't open yet. We've got one of these hatches on both sides. I'm not sure what to put in there, but I do think I need a generator on here, because if you're going to be operating a welder, you might want to like park this trailer somewhere and just have it as a static thing. Maybe you're bringing broken vehicles to it and then welding them right next to it. So having power generation on board is probably a good idea. I think right now what I want to do is some decoration, so little pieces on the sides. I don't know what's happened here. Something doesn't seem happy about like rotating back. But basically all of my logic stuff is put in here now. So I'm gonna do some decorating. I'm going to paint this mostly red, like a fire truck. I guess this isn't really a fire truck red, but get that idea of like it's red like a fire truck. I'm just going to replace everything that's white with this grey and then go back and find all the white sections. I think I want to keep, let's say, most of the railing, the ladders, the central walkway can be white. I think this rotating part should be white. You know, a lot of ladders or trucks, fire trucks, the ladder, this big section thing is usually white. Really, the outside can be white, the inside can stay grey. I think the railing should all be white. I'm not sure what's up with the way it was rotating before. So I'll do some of that logic now. This thing here, the key, unlocks the hard point. And it also needs to have a brake on it. So I need a special controller for this, I think. I also need the key to control the reset value. So where this comes in, it's all down here. Hose pump. I think this is kind of spread out. There's a lot of empty space in here. We can have hardpoint release. And brake. Walkway brake. I'm just going to call it a walkway because it's, you know, it's got no ladders on it anymore. And then we need the key input. Unlock key. Unlock / reset key. So if the key's off, it's all going to lock itself back. And I think I will need a distance sensor so that I can detect how far away this thing is. Or how far along the track it has gone. Which, I wonder if I can put it in here. I wonder if I put it on this one, right? Because then this can face away. And it's always going to be measuring something on this basket as it tilts. But because the basket can tilt, the reading's going to be inaccurate. So that's the only problem with that. I could sacrifice some of this pipe. Could be like that. And then it will be able to detect... No, it won't be able to detect anything. I really need it to be on the bottom. Connected to this top piece, but on the bottom. What would be ideal, I guess, is this. So it's connected to the top and it's measuring into the side here, which means I would need to extend this pipe a little bit, and that's also part of this track system, so I won't be able to extend as far doing that. Wait a minute. The brake can just engage whenever... Where's the brake? Walkway brake. The brake can just engage whenever we're not going in or out, and that would stop it from falling back down as well. So this can just connect to that. So when it resets to 0, the brake will engage. That is probably a real easy fix for that. And then this can just go straight to there, get rid of that knot. And then I'm going to need a bunch of switch boxes. So basket gates, not important. We have left and right output rotation. So when the master key is on, you can have your signal being sent through, and if it's off, then it just goes back to 0, which is exactly what we need. And then we've got the up down, same thing, back to 0, and then the in and out. The in and out needs to go to -1 on timer, or -1 until it meets a contact sensor or something. Impact sensor, is it? Contact sensor. I might be able to put this like that, or it's a shame you can't put it inside. This would be where a distance sensor would actually make sense. But I think this is... that's an empty one. So if it were here, then I would know how far up this track is. The problem is that this rotates down into here. I don't think that's the right solution. I think getting a contact sensor in here is probably the best way to do it, but then I would have to move most of the walkway and the basket forwards to get the sensor to work properly. get a contact sensor to work properly. If I had maybe, I could put a sensor like this, right, facing up, because it'll detect the pipe when it's retracted all the way back, and when it goes forwards, the walkway bottom piece will be over it, so I'll get a lower number, but then it might interfere with the basket. It would be ideal to do this, but you know, I'm gonna have to stretch some pieces over, I think. Somewhere along the line I've lost some tracks. On this side I think I've got space. I'm thinking, how many wedges of space do you need to like let things clip through? Because if I get rid of this block here, oh, that's not gonna work. Let's just try it with just the distance sensor. So I've got a distance sensor input. So I need to know what the number is when it's all the way back, which is 2.5 or 0.25. We'll go low threshold 0, but the high threshold is 0.25. And that means if it were to go back further than that, then that's fine as well. So it's this key and a threshold. Oh, it should be above this. The low threshold should be 0.25 and the high threshold should just be whatever. Then, if it's both those, it goes to the down counter. So we need another OR, I think, for this. I feel like there might be a better way to do that. So walkway break, hardpoint release, and distance sensor. We can't go up, we can't turn. That's controlling the hose, so that's not the end of the world. We can fix that. If we unlock, I didn't connect it, so nothing should want to go anywhere. Oh, but the counter counts, so I need to put the switch box before this. You can see that kind of like jitter when I let go. It's the brake. The gripper brake is grabbing on and stopping it from coming back. Something weird happens there. Something's rotating inside of something else. Here's a block that maybe looks like it shouldn't be there. If I turn this off, it should all start trying to reset itself. Except the track didn't come back in. It's getting a bit more complicated. So I need to AND the master key to get the signal. And then I still want to be changing the number here, just because that's an easier way to reset to 0. So if the key is off and the threshold is above, so meaning it's out, then do the countdown. And then hopefully what will happen is it will count down. I think the NOR here needs to be connected into this as well. So this one actually needs to go over to there. At least it's retracting. So it's letting me push it out even when the key's not on. So I need more ands. So we get the key and one of these inputs. Then you can do all of your other inputs, which I think is that. This goes to here and to there. Oh, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here. This can probably go in between somewhere. No going out, no going in, no going anywhere. Turn the key on. We can go up, we can turn, we can extend. That winch sound is terrible. And I think, oh yeah, there was something clipped when it got to like about there. I don't know if anything's actually clipping here. if I put the outrigger out, because that will stop it from tipping over at least, then extend at full height and come down. It could just be one of those things where you need the outriggers deployed to stop it from fully rolling over. And I think I can get away with putting in these 1x2 wedges to help bridge this gap. Then I want all of the walkway area to be white and in the basket as well. And I can fill this piece in with a stretched XML block. Ooh, didn't like that. It started to extend. No outriggers, and it didn't like freak out and roll over or anything. So I don't know, there's something weird happening there, but I don't really care. If I can find a better solution for this distance sensor thing, I would really like to move it all forwards a bit, I suppose. Because really all I want is for it to stop. I want it to come back and stop. You know what, if I cut this whole thing and move it forwards one, then I should be able to put a contact sensor in there. And then it should hit the contact sensor when it comes all the way back. Okay, contact sensor like that. Yeah, if I can put a wedge in there, the wedge will trigger the contact sensor. Yeah, and this will all rotate with the contact sensor, so that would be okay. Let's try it. It'll mean I need to cut the basket first. Everything's just shimmying along by one. I mean, it's not even everything, it's just this part of the walkway. And then I need a track, just a normal track. Just a track. Because we want it to be able to go the whole way. It's just the track position has moved slightly. Or the starting position has moved slightly. And then on this one, I think you have to use a wedge. I don't know if I can get away with a full block. But the output from that sensor goes into here. Instead of distance sensor, it will just be, just say this is walkway contact sensor. And we can just skip the threshold. Turn this on. Can extend, turn it off, and it doesn't retract. Why? It should retract. Oh no, the number doesn't count down when you, between turning it off and turning it on, it doesn't like reset all your numbers. I have no idea. This will be one of those things where it just comes to me. I'm going to get rid of those and just leave this for now. Because what I need to do is get the pump system and the tank put in place. So this here is the inside of a door. All of that needs to be closed up. Just that there. This is where I want to put in probably a modular engine, I think, in the back. So I'm going to wall off some of this area. So I'll get a modular engine put in here at some point, and that will allow this system, this whole trailer, to just run on its own if you leave it somewhere. For a custom tank, I'm not sure how much fluid I really need. Let's get a fluid meter. This port here, I think, yep, that is the in port. So all of this can be custom fluid tank. But I think what I'll do, I don't really want to use too much of the high space in here. You're not going to need this much water. I think just limiting this bottom section would be fine. I'll make it look nice even though it doesn't do anything. It makes me feel better. There's no way for anyone to get in here, and I don't think there should be, so it's totally fine. And I can put a controller in here. So we have, I think I'm going to need a system where it's got all the controls for turning the pumps off and on both sides, but extending the winch is only on this side. So we need like basically just one instrument panel, I suppose. Okay, so the idea with this is that it's just a push button and it toggles the light here, and that will turn on the pump. So it's only going to let you like activate and deactivate the pump essentially. I'm going to need more buttons than this, so I'm going to leave them disconnected for now in terms of logic. So you'll be able to push this button, the light will come on, and then you know you're pumping out. Same with this, you can push the button, the light will come on, and you know you're pumping out. And then over here, we need kind of a similar thing, but I need pump out with a button, another push button. So what I could make these buttons say, they say pump on. Yeah, these need to say pump out because they all control pumping out. But then over here, we've got pump out, pump in. And the good thing about this being push buttons is I might be able to make it toggleable inside the system. So if you're pumping in, you can't be pumping out. And if you're pumping out, you can't be pumping in. And then below this, I will do my normal winch controls. So we'll have winch in, winch length, and this is a 40-meter winch. We have winch out. I'm not going to put winch signal on this one. You don't need that. You don't need to know if you're not going to be connecting anything to it. I think because the paint scheme is red, I think all the indicators and buttons should be white on this. Pump out, we've got channel 1. We need channel 1, 2, and 3. So pump out, and then the indicator should be channel 4, right? And so this pump out on the other side is channel 2. And then the indicator is channel 4 again. And then on this other one beside the winch, we have channel 3 and channel 4. Now pump in can be channel 5 and the indicator can be channel 6. And then the winch can be totally standalone. So I can just leave this as 1, 2, and 3. And I just won't chain any of that together. So we'll go from here to there to there. Maybe I'll combine them, pump and winch. Then I'll just figure it out. So we have pump in, pump out, winch in. Oh, this is like surprisingly simple because most of the logic here is like doing the same thing multiple times. So we went up to channel 6. The winch in will be channel 7. The winch length will be channel 8 and the winch out will be channel 9. So the length is channel 8. Oh yeah, I need to chain it all together, so that will need to go through there. Then we have the buttons 1, 2, and 3 all toggle on the, so X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3, they all go into a toggle and they toggle pump out. And then channel 5 is pump in. And these all send their signal. We had channel 4 and channel 6. Channel 4 does pumping out and channel 6 is pumping in. And then we have winch in and winch out, which are just toggles. And they were on 7 and 9, I think. So this goes into there, that goes over to there, that goes over to here, connects to this one, and then that goes like that. This is very confusing. So if I push this button, the light comes on, that light comes on, this light comes on. Then I push it again, it all turns off. So we're no longer pumping out. Now we are pumping in. Winch in. Oh, I didn't make that one a toggle. So 9 was winch out. Change the winch speed, even though it seemed like, oh, it's not working because I didn't connect it. Duh. Winch length. Pump in, pump out. Need to go to a pump that's on the other side. So this, how did I do this? So where it connects at the top here, that is the in, and that is connected to two pumps. Okay, this pipe goes in and goes, it splits here, I think, doesn't it? I think I did this on X symmetry. No, that goes up to there. Okay, come down, go up. I think I need to connect this one here. So it can go in and then come across. Then this is pump in, which goes up and through that one. So this is pump in. This is pump out. And then we need a fluid meter, which I can put on here actually. So instrument 4, we can have water level. I'll use a gauge for this. I don't know how much we're going to get, but it'll be on channel 10. So I'm going to channel 8, 8, 9, 10. That's pretty easy. Where's the level? I should go see if I can fill it up now. There's a lot of space on this trailer that could be just deleted. Like this whole front section has nothing in it. Oh no, my panel's gone for changing the legs. Oh, where's my... Where has my subtat gone? God damn it. Okay, since I'm gonna get all the subtat stuff sorted out, I'm just gonna put this trailer down, copy over the controller, copy the brake lights. You know, like looking at this fire truck trailer thing compared to some of these other trailers, it's not really in the same style as HCLI, which is a little bit worrying. I like the idea of this trailer, but it feels like something different. You know, thinking about it, it does feel different, and that's because HCLI is a logistics company made for moving things like containers and heavy machinery, moving stuff around, logistics, not firefighting. So having an HCLI firefighting trailer doesn't really make any sense. So in saying that, I think I might not release this trailer as an HCLI trailer. I'll probably still release it, but it'll be something else. It might even be more suited to just be NSR. I haven't really done anything for NSR in a long time. Or it could just be its own thing. It doesn't need to be a brand of anything, just some random firefighting trailer that doesn't work. There we go. Okay, where is the nearest water? I guess it's like the ocean. I'm going to turn off vehicle damage because just because this HCLI truck is not going to have good ground clearance. But I want to go over, fill up my water tank, and then see if all my hoses and pumps work. This is pretty cool. I quite like this. Yeah, it's definitely not HCLI though. It's something else. Still cool. Just it won't fit within the HCLI brand. This is why I have vehicle damage off. There's no way these trucks are gonna last out here in the desert. I need to finish the actual Patriot trucks. Maybe I can find some time to just connect the subtat logic. Oh, coming up fast. Oh, it's rolling. Okay, so parking brake. We go winch out. And then we grab this thing. It's like some sort of alien head. Get it down into the water. And then we go pump in. Oh yes, it's filling. While it's filling, I can also test all these other hoses. So if I'm also pumping out... Ugh, that doesn't work. Wait, if I'm pumping out and in at the same time, it's not even working. If I turn on pump out, and then go and have a look at this pump, that one's on and that one's on. So it's like it's pressurizing something. But I don't think any of the pipes are connected properly then. Oh wait, it's the water level's gone down. So the pump... So I'm at like, let's say I'm at 100 water level right now. And then I go pump out. And then the water level drops. Oh, it's pumping out through that one. Hold on. So this is connected, but potentially these aren't. Or the pressure is all coming back through this and not going out the hoses. Huh. I need a valve on this winch then. So, because if you pressurize all the hoses and turn them on, it's just going to come out this fluid port. I didn't think about that. That shouldn't be too hard. I'll make it an automatic valve, so if you're not pumping in, then this winch closes off. So let's say that's done. It's all connected, and now I can actually take away this hose. And if I do pump out and connect to one of these... Okay, then I get the pumping. That's good. So it's just a case of putting a valve up on there. I'm not sure, but does this one work as well? This is actually another button that needs to connect down, or this one could have its own pump, I think. It probably should because it's going through a whole nother system. Just call this the winch valve output. So we have, when you are, which way does it go? It doesn't say which is which, so I'm guessing on means it's open. And then I'll get a pump. I might get a couple of pumps for this part. So I need to come in through here somewhere. Oh yeah, that's a pretty straight shot. I'm going to put a couple of pumps in here because I want to make sure this is highly pressurized. Very highly pressurized. I'm just going to do 2 so I don't get too carried away. Hose pump. Boosh, boosh. What else is on here? I think everything else on there is connected. So those are going to run up through all that system. So in here with the fluid meter, I'm going to add a fluid spawner. There we go. So we can get up high towards the fire, and we're still rotating for some reason. This seems like I'm getting full pressure out of those pumps, so that's good. I think it might drop off if I don't have infinite electricity. But yeah, this is good. Very good. Yeah, I really like this. It's in a good state now. I'm getting a bit sick of it right now, so I'm just going to save it, and I want to do a little bit of work on the dollies. The dolly. So this is all pretty much there. It needs a little bit of fine tuning. So this thing, I was asking around in the official Discord, got some recommendations to just get rid of these hinges. It's not what I would like to do. I would really like it to be able to pivot there, but if it's what you gotta do, it's what you gotta do. Maybe I can do this. This looks really cool, actually. Did I think I saved over the right one. So I'll spawn this in and then get... We've got a truck. Well, I guess I need a truck. No, I just need a trailer. This trailer, maybe. There we go. So if I connect this to the back of this. Skaboosh. Yeah, like it does help. It makes it rotate around the end of the truck, I suppose, rather than having a middle point. And then we've got ramps go down. I think that's it. That's what's got to be done. And that's stopping those wheels on the dolly from pivoting up on themselves as well. So when I'm braking, they're not coming flying forwards. All the weight is transferring through that. So what do you call it? It's transferring through the tow bar and it's static, so it's not folding at all. I guess there's still some wonkiness, but yeah, I think that kind of solves that problem. It could stand to be a little bit heavier, I think, so maybe I can just edit the rocket boosters to be a bit heavier. So this is 13. This is now the fire truck trailer. And then for 13, I want to have 29 be one with another axle, 3 axles. Just for sort of, I don't know, it gives you a bit more visual flexibility. These dollies are also the low connection point. I would like to get some that have the gooseneck kind of system on them. So if I had this, I would actually need to push it out the front, I think. If I cut that, how much am I moving? Not much, eh? So copy this, paste it back. Nothing changes, really. I'll get some weight blocks. I can get rid of... Oh no, that's my controller. I might put some little fender things in here. Yeah, that's interesting. Something like that. And it just gives you like a heavier version. This will be trailer 29. Overwrite, yes. So I've left this right at the back because it needs the distance. Like if I push it up into the center, then you're not going to have much room for the trailer to hang over on the back. I could color it a little bit differently or move some of the weight blocks or something, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay to have just a longer dolly and a shorter dolly. I think these ones still aren't ready for release. They need a little bit of detail work on them because they just kind of look bland. But yeah, it's good. I like it. And then I think it would be cool to have like a version that goes like this. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Something like that. Wait, no, I've done it wrong. I've done it wrong like that. And then you kind of get that gooseneck thing. I see a lot of very heavy trailers where they're just all red. They're always red, the heavy trailers. Some of them are blue, but most of them are red. Actually, I saw one that was a very light blue, like this. That could be the way. And then not white, but like 240. Bit grey. I think this blue maybe is too light. Ugh. Actually, that's quite nice. That's like the Maersk. How do you say that? That's too pale. I would like a grey blue. RGB. Why is that purple? RGB. Right? Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a very steel looking color. Like, I know steel isn't this color, but it's a metallic looking color. And then, do I need to change how it connects onto that? Do I need to give it some support or something? Like this? It makes me think of dinosaurs. A Bronchiosaurus? Then do I use, I should use pipes. Where are the pipes? Get me a pipe. I'm gonna get me one of these pipes. You know, even though this is kind of simple and, you know, not terribly amazing, I'm quite excited about this. And I think if you can be excited about something, no matter how small it may seem, you're much more likely to produce a good outcome because you're like invested in it. I feel invested in this. Easy trailer 30. It seems so simple. Will it work? Ooh. Ooh. I've not given it enough space. So it needs 9 blocks, right? Man, it needs to come out very, very far. Does it need its own legs? Okay, maybe that. Wow, it's not much clearance, but I think it's enough. I've got trailer legs. I think if I move where it wedges up forwards quite a lot, and then it would be good for use on like really long lowboy custom kind of trailers. I can't remember why you use these. There was a specific reason for like load distribution. But yeah, I think it's kind of neat. This trailer on the back is not balanced properly at all. So I think I can take these pieces and move them a whole bunch forwards. That could be too much forwards. So 1 block forwards. Yeah, I like this. This is good. And I've got a little bit of space here where I can write like HCLI. I think in this spot would be good. HCLI. Oh, that's pretty good. I might try and move it 1 pixel back. So it's 2 pixels from the edge. And then this side is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So yeah, I like to do all my logos and things by hand. Sometimes I'll use Tajin's tool to get a really quick result, but generally I think I'd rather do it this way. Yep. Yep. I might be able to make these lights a bit wider, a bit longer maybe. And the only other thing I really need to worry about is where can I write trailer 30? I might be able to write T30, or maybe the dollies just don't get any of that. And jumping on this also, because there's so much weight in there, it won't fall over on its own, so that's really good. Very good. Very, very good. So I'm still not finished with this fire truck trailer, but I think I got a good amount of progress done on it today. I think it was good to realize that it wasn't part of the HCLI family, and that might have in fact been what was holding me back on getting it done quickly, is because I'm trying to make it fit something that it's not really designed to fit into. I think the advice I got to make the dollies not have that hinge in the front was really good. It meant that I could actually build these things to be functional. I think the older ones though, what I'm considering would be 13 and 29. They're not up to the standard that I want now, but 30, this blue one in the middle, I think that's really cool. I think it turned out very, very nice. It's quite a simple thing, but it'll do the job and it looks cool and it's kind of unique and I like the way it looks. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.